Right, we should be live now for tonight's letter from the producer live. They've said that there's going to be some really cool special stuff to show off. I'm hoping we might get a little bit of information about some job changes. They said there's going to be a lot of images, a lot of pictures. So, we'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens. So, I'm excited. I think there's going to be some good stuff. I'll let you guys hear what they are saying now, if you would like to hear it.
We have fun here. Yes, we do. We have fun.
Afraid that the wrong tweet sent.
Oh, yeah, we still get
5 minutes.
Yeah. So go ahead and settle in. Get ready for the letter live. They're already almost done setting up on stage. It looks like they just finished the opening ceremony and they're already coming back out. And I think Yoshida is also on the dev panel after, so he's
going to be on stage most of the day.
he's got a packed
and I think he's
morning.
going to be up there for FRC as well.
All right, I have now sent the stream tweet. I think we are ready to rock.
The EU fan festivals.
What are you guys excited for from the live letter? I'm going to turn them back down a little bit so we can talk. We're looking at pictures. They said we'd be getting a lot of pictures. They said we'd be getting some good info. They're going to be back in about 5 minutes. I'm curious what they're going to show. They said we're going to get into a little bit of the development side of things here. So maybe we'll get some information about why no Vieira. Bye, guys. Bye, guys. Why no male Vieira or female Rothgar? We might get some information about that, which would be really cool. We're looking at maybe some info on job changes. Maybe some more info on Dancer. Maybe some changes to Blue Mage. Maybe some stuff about the next limited job, what it's gonna be. Who knows, right? I'm hoping we get some more details on Gunbreaker and on how the way Gunbreaker is gonna work. I would like some more information about how we get to the first. But I feel like that's going to be super spoilers, and they probably don't want to spoodle too much, so it's probably just going to be, it's a 90-minute long live letter, so we're going to be talking about some stuff for sure, but it's probably not going to be too much about the story. Maybe some stuff about how things went with 4.5, and the way things went there. Maybe we'll get some more information about our new hub. Again, I don't think we'll get too much on job changes because they mentioned we're going to be getting that big breakdown in May, but it would be really cool if we just got like a couple teases of like, hey, yeah, here's a new Black Mage ability, here's a new Dancer ability that you didn't know about before. So we'll see. Definitely we'll see how that goes. I'm going to turn the volume up where you can. The wonderful Kugane music playing in the background. Yeah, I like it. I like it well enough. I really hope they at least touch on the gender lock, though I don't think they really will. I feel like the Q&A is going to wind up being mostly gender locked. Hrothgar, Vieira, Dancer questions, and I'm really worried about that. We're going to get some peaches in here, as Mr. Happy would put it. But I'm excited for the live letter. I think we're going to get some good news in here. I think we're probably going to get some more information on the 8-man. I think we're probably going to get some more information on a couple of the dungeons. Maybe some more images of those. Maybe some UI changes that might be coming. Some other quality of life changes. A couple quality of life changes I would really like we could get. Just personally would be okay cutting in some Ruby C music. Why are we doing that? Why do we have both music playing at the same time? I mean, I guess it's fine. Maybe honestly, like, I guess my biggest thing is if I could move, like, get some items moved over to key items, like turn-ins. So like Omega turn-ins or things like that. raid turn-ins, I guess specifically, Beast Tribe currency got moved over. So it'd be really cool if like raid turn-ins could get moved over, because I have a lot of Precision Gordian Springs just hanging out that I don't need anymore. That I guess at some point I should just spend on garbage and try to MB it. But you know, like, it'd be really nice if that stuff could get moved to key items. If bait could get moved to key items, that'd be a really cool quality of life thing. But I don't think that'll happen either. I think that would be kind of a crazy thing to do, you know? Really odd to me having both those musics playing at the same time. I don't know, there's not a lot of quality of life changes I'd like. Maybe some more glamour armor, like, setups, maybe some more options there with the glamour. There's a word for it, I can't remember it right now. It's the slates, the glamour slates. Maybe just a little bit more with that, but I don't know. There's not too much quality of life that I need. I think maybe not having to get off your mount to talk to somebody would be cool, but I don't see that changing because that's a 1.0 thing. Yeah, I don't know. Quality of life wise, there's just not that much that I'm super concerned about. But Limsa music kicked in nice and loud. Dun, 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 dun. That's Ul'dah music, isn't it? Not Limsa music. I'm an idiot. Watch it be Gridanian. I'm just super wrong. I like all the night themes are like buried in my heart, and I love them so much.
All right, good morning, everyone. We're going to begin. The
That might be Ishgard actually, and I'm just stupid.
50.
That's right, on the stage.
It's definitely not
producer
Night in the
director,
Brooms
Naoki
or
Yoshida,
Sultana Dreaming
and
though.
of course,
Foxconn from the
Foxconn,
community team.
Morochi.
Toshio Morochi.
Yep. Little Foxconn.
Morbol, Foxconn.
It's got a lot of names.
So many names.
Yeah. And of many names.
So it's been what, 8 years?
Oh man,
That's a lot of letters.
a lot of letter lives.
Yeah.
Letter lives.
A lot of live
I
letters.
didn't name it, man.
I wish we'd been doing this longer.
live
I
it
wish
down.
that we had a, like, we should have been reacting to these live a long time ago. With my job the way that it was, I really didn't have the chance to do that, you know, but it would have been really cool, I think, to have been reacting to a lot of these live.
Exciting information in this
Because this is number 50. Also, is that my chair?
You can say producer.
There's a Final Fantasy 14 version of the... What?
Easier, right?
So much how
I want
so much
that
how-
chair.
PLLL.
Found an odd room in GBO2? That's weird.
Oh.
I want that chair, man.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
Those.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's got the job icons on the back.
Love to use it in the office.
No, they're gonna auction it off.
Man.
Yoshida sat in it.
I guess I could just
It
write
could sell for a
Final
lot.
Fantasy 14 right here, right?
Nice.
And then just put the job icons. I could just do that, right?
The water. Oh, there we go.
That's cool.
That's really cool. I like that a lot.
I didn't know that they had those in the back. That's cool.
Okay, so the letter live is split into multiple parts.
Yep.
Okay.
So the first part is we're going to talk about patches,
Yep.
patch schedule,
Yep, coming
what's
schedule.
coming up.
Yeah.
Then the next part is going to be talking with the main lore creator and scenario writer. Bonnie.
Maybe some info on.
Answering questions that they gathered last week
On the forums, yeah.
He's got a lot.
Maybe some info
No
on.
So boom.
Okay. Yep.
First
All right.
we saw this guy.
Hope that you guys have
trailer
played up to
yesterday.
4.5.
Looks familiar.
Because this live letter is going to spoil you. If not, if you don't want spoodles, you should probably play 4.5 quick.
Tuesday,
Because
3 days
this will
away.
be 4.56.
456 drops. A Requiem for Heroes Part 2.
Yep. Tuesday when we doing that live.
We're going to talk about what's in it.
I like this a lot too, man. I think it works really well.
It's going to end up the 4.x series.
Yep.
And
Feel
lead
like,
in
With some more Hildebrand as well.
into
I think we'll
Shadowstone.
also probably get some
and further
some
Hildebrand Adventures. This is going to wrap
Beast
up
Tribe stuff.
Yep.
Yeah,
for now,
Beast Tribe
the
stuff.
Hildebrand
Called it.
Adventures. And then of course we have the Beast Tribe quest.
I mean, we knew it was coming anyway, but
coming
like,
together.
Ooh, what's gonna happen this time?
spoodle me.
I think the screenshot showed the.
I still have to do the Namazu Beast Tribes. I hate crafting Beast Tribes so much. I might subject chat to that one day. We'll just one day, just all the crafting beast tribes. We'll just get through them all.
Next patch.
No, we can't. There's daily restrictions. We
April
can't.
2nd.
Yeah, April 2nd comes
This is where we're
the
going to,
server
begin
change.
the expansion.
Right. We had heard about
European
this.
data
We knew it
center.
was
Add that new
coming.
server
April 2nd is the day.
center.
Okay.
Light.
Also, like,
And,
huge
we talked
shout
about
out
this before.
to
The world regrouping is going to
having
happen
Koji
at
like
this time.
translating things live. Like that's great.
So for those
Huge shout out.
players that are
7-day
on,
live stream.
using the European data centers, from the 2nd to the 15th, you have 2 weeks to move about, find out which world server
Yeah.
you want to call your home world.
April 2nd, and they move it. So if you're in the
And
European
it's not just
side,
limited to, that's like the
you need to
free
figure
world
out where you're
tour.
going
It's not
because
just limited
you're
just to
moving.
the EU data center, so you can actually move off
Yeah.
of it. And
So,
like,
Okay, and here's the 15 stuff that we asked about yesterday, where we'll get some more information on the 15 collab.
April 16th, another update. This is where we'll be releasing the Final Fantasy 15 collaboration, a Nocturne.
April 16th.
Oh, see what we did
Okay.
there?
for heroes. Huh?
Oh, Nocturne, Octus. Oh,
So what are you going
it's
to
a
get?
limited event
Right.
from
Hairstyle.
April 16th to May 27th.
And that 4-player mount, a chance to
yeah.
get that 4-player mount.
Okay. I mean, yeah, the Regalia looks really good in 14.
Right around the first.
Like, it looks
styles.
really good in
Come
14.
complete with phone books for Lalafell to sit on so they can see.
pedal extensions for them.
Oh, man. I want the Regalia. We're doing that
Curious, I
event.
really want to see how
Easy.
they drive.
Yeah.
We're doing that event.
やばい、今これどうせあれですよ、コメントは吉田を信じるな祭りになってますよ、これ。
そうですね、今コメント思ってないよって書かれてる。え、フェイトならまだマシだと思ってる。知ってた。ですよね、イエーイって書いてある。
Have you got a screen up there with the Twitch
Yeah.
stream on it? Checking out the comments? Nice.
Okay, so they're looking at the comments of the official stream.
It's not that difficult to get that stuff. So you just have to clear the quest. So first
Okay.
off, clear the quest, and then
Easy.
it'll go from there.
Easy.
Ooh.
Look, Noctis' outfit looks really good in 14, man.
Recognize Noctis'
Noctis.
outfit.
Like, it
Hairstyle.
looks really solid. I have to have that for Kara Swiss. I mean, obviously, I'll get it on all my characters, but, like, I have to get it on Kara Swiss. It looked great on
One
her.
driving glove.
The boots look good, too, man. You could use those with some really cool glamour.
Alright, April 23rd, another
Okay.
update.
23rd.
Tuesday. We have
Patch 4.57 with a world visit system.
here.
Okay.
Our
We knew
world
this was
visit
coming.
system
It's
is
coming
live.
before Shadowbringers, which is cool.
Soon.
Which means we'll be able to do it at Shadowbringers launch as well, which is really good. I was worried about that.
A little bit more than a month.
Because I was worried there would be situations where, oh, this world's too congested. We can't do these instances. No problem. You can now just move over to another world and do them there.
So to get the
With
system
the
ready,
visits.
it's a very complex change to the server source
Gonna
code.
be down for 24 again.
It's a system that's going to, like allow players to go to a different world server via
Within the
the
data set,
certain
yeah.
Etherites
Yes.
in the main towns. And so we're releasing it here, so if there are any problems, we can
Get them
fix them
fixed before the
release of
expansion.
5.0.
Yeah. That's a good call. That's a
Probably
good call.
idea not to release them both at the same time.
We don't think that there's going to be any major problems, any major crashes, but like, for example, going to a new dungeon on a different world, you might run into some glitches, and we want players to report this so we can get this fixed and
Yeah,
all ironed
good
out
call.
before 5.0. All right, and then on the
The same time.
23rd,
Okay.
Same day.
Same day. Yeah.
we have
Get the
new
new
data center
American
in North America.
movement.
And this is just the same
Yeah.
as the terms with the European one.
So yeah, this will separate Balmung and Gilgamesh, I do believe.
And from the 23rd to
I'd have to
May
look at
6th,
the
so
list
another 2
again,
weeks.
but I think we'll be separated
If
now.
you're currently using those NA or the NA data centers,
Yep.
you can move between worlds for free.
I know people
During
on
this 2-week
Coral
period.
are real worried
And
about
you
it,
can move
and
free
some
as
people
many
on
times as you
Mateus
want
were
during
worried
this
about
period,
it, but I
or is
think
it
it's going to wind up being
There's
fine.
cooldown, but it really depends again which kind of world you're going to. Like preferred,
Right.
you can't go to congested, of course, things like that. So you just need to make sure you look over the regulations.
Right, and those will be up. Are those already up, or
Yeah,
are they going up?
they're up.
Okay,
In
great.
mid-May, this is the patch that we're going to get that'll also have like the job actions coming out, where they talk about the job actions, right? Mid-May?
so they're talking about like adding new data centers means we're getting more players, and yeah, it's
Yeah.
our current world servers are pretty packed. So
That's,
458,
the biggest
various
reason.
adjustments and
there is.
updates.
So mid-May.
That's not very descriptive.
4.58. This is probably going to be the last patch
For Shadowbringers.
for
Yeah.
Shadowbringers, and then we have various adjustments and updates.
一応各種って言えるんです2個ある
2個あるから
2個あるから、はい
Hmm.
なので、コンテンツ等々ではありませんので
This is not new content. It's going to be various updates.
Mm.
So そして続き
So you can probably guess.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys are probably
具体的になりました
pros.
Alright. And then here we go. This
Updates
is
to Blue Mage.
the last one is like mid-May. Sometime now we have like June 28th.
Yeah, Day of Shadowbringers
2
Early
a.m.
Access.
Pacific Daylight Time.
You better
Early
believe
access
access.
begins.
we're doing some crazy long streams. Shadowbringers launch day. We're going all in.
I'm ready.
We're gonna beat that MSQ before I have a chance to be spoiled on it
Wow,
by
there's actually kind of a
Twitter
lot of
or
time
Reddit or
between that
anything,
last patch and the launch.
or YouTube
But,
like
even though we
videos,
have
whatever.
new
We're gonna beat it
we
immediately.
have a lot of information
Yeah.
to reveal. We're going to be traveling around the world, media tours,
Yeah.
all the
So,
regions. To talk
last
about
year,
Shadowbringers and all
And
that.
well, last expansion, and with
It's gonna be
Heavensward,
a
almost
busy-
called it
busy
Ishgard.
time.
Yoshi did a
job
full
action,
media tour right
in-game
before
footage,
the
lots
launch of
stuff.
the expansion, and had a bunch of interviews where he dropped a
During that
bunch
time.
of cool like additions they were doing. That like have to wait. They can't announce them here.
So remember 2
Have
years
to wait,
ago,
just in case they
we
can't
had
finish
this
them in time.
long, letter from the Booster Labs to talk about all the changes for the jobs.
And if they
It
can't
was
finish
in,
them in time, then it won't happen, right? So they wait until the last second to
It was
talk
in
about it
Europe.
all.
And
Man,
the
Shadowbringers,
sun set while
2 new
they were doing the
jobs,
stream 'cause it was like 3 hours and
2 new
30
races,
minutes long.
8 new
All right, then we
nine,
come to
8 new
July
dungeons.
2nd, and this
Brand
is
new
when
raid
official
tier.
service begins.
We're looking at
So
at
anyone
least
that
50
didn't
quests,
get it
probably
first,
more.
サービスって何が違うのって書いてある
Shadowbringers
No, no,
official
you
on the
guys,
second.
don't-
Yeah.
I'm not worried.
実質
So everyone's like asking, like, what's the difference between early access and that?
Well, us early access players have to deal with some
I mean,
bugs.
especially if everyone
And some
knows
problems.
about early
Yeah.
access.
If anybody remembers,
But the only way to get early access,
if you were swimming
so
and
if you
queued
forget to
into
pre-order, you're gonna have to wait.
Susano,
So if you get down to
you
know,
couldn't log
early
back
access
in.
and you're like, oh,
It was a
yeah, I
pretty
wanna
big
play it now.
issue.
It's too late. You got to pre-order it.
パッチノート朗読会もあると思いますんで、
でしょうね
アーリーアクセス直前にね。
And of course, they.
We also had, of
right
course,
before
Rabon
early
X.
access, he reads the patch notes.
Yeah.
Those are long
I'm
as
sure that's
well,
gonna be
'cause it's
like
gonna be.
4 hours.
Rabon X was pretty crazy,
All right,
but
so let's take another look at that.
you know it's
patch
fine.
and
So this is the
Up
the
until
flow
this.
chart.
ダダン
Tuesday,
ダダダン
4.56.
ぎっしりです。
European data expansion on the 2nd, on the 16th, 15 collaboration event, 23rd world visit, and the data center expansions for us in North America. Mid-May,
Yeah, we have things.
We
so
get
for example, yeah, in May,
various
looks like
adjustments.
there's a lot of space there, but again, there's a lot of things like a benchmark.
yeah, we have to do the benchmark.
That's right. Oh, there's character creation. In
Oh, I'm
the,
so
in
excited for the
I
benchmark.
wonder
So excited for the benchmark.
What kind of characters you'll be able to create?
Yeah, you'll be able to make your Rothgard and your Vieira
Vieira
in the
and
benchmark.
Hrothgar, you will be
It's
able
cool.
to do some character creation before.
I expected that was
launching the
probably gonna
benchmark, so
happen.
that'll be exciting.
ご期待ください。といったところで駆け足ではございましたが、7月2日まで今後のスケジュールがこんな感じですというおさらいをお送りいたしました。
はい。
といったところで、早いですね。
It's quite a bit of stuff coming. I'm curious about
so
the
it's like, this is the
various
first half.
adjustments because last time we got like a
It was
various
12
adjustments. It
minutes.
was
I thought we had
hey, we
90
fixed
minutes
all
here.
these
The first
bugs.
half's already finished.
コーナーに参りますよ。
So
Oh,
let's move to
wow.
the next
Jump
section.
into
So
it.
the first
Yeah.
half.
So that was
12
the
minutes.
prelude.
We have to
Really?
think of a
Is
better
that a half?
terminology.
Now's the rest.
Portion. First phase. Phase 1.
Phase one.
There
Let's
we
call
go.
it phase one.
続きまして、
主役小田さんね。
All right. Next, let's bring out
主役にご登場いただいて、
our world lore creator
Yes.
and our main scenario writer,
Yes.
拍手で
Bondi.
Yes. Bring out Oda.
どうぞお入りください。
You ever been curious who writes all that insane FF14 lore? Who wrote, in conjunction with Koji, the man talking and translating, these 2 books? It's this man right here.
I think it's the first time we've had him on like the official Letter Lives.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think he did
done, like, the
appear on the
14-hour
Korean Fan Festival, and he
Oh.
was also on a stream at the 14-hour
Yeah.
event a couple years
Henri
ago.
Oda.
Oh, I
Here
thought-
in Tokyo.
He gets he gets an FF14 shirt too.
Yeah.
He deserves it though.
ご挨拶お願いいたします。
はい、世界設定兼、メインシナリオライターの小田と申します。本日はよろしくお願いいたします。
よろしくお願いします。
はい、よろしくお願いします。
So we're gonna check, see how much water he drinks.
He's representing a Vegas FanFest shirt too.
That's right. I had to bring that back for him.
Yeah, you guys had like orders from the
Tons.
team back at home.
So yeah, he's a little bit nervous to be out there by himself representing.
I mean,
the
he's
whole-
never really
the whole
been
team, the whole
Yeah.
writing team, man,
on
the
stage like this before either.
There's lots
Like
of
the only
people
times he's on stage are when they call everybody out.
So yeah, we've got a bunch of questions.
I'm
more
sure
than
there's a
like
ton of
100,
lore questions,
and
right?
We picked out about 50 or 60 of them, and he answered each one of them preliminary. And it's like, oh yeah, I can answer all these. We're usually when we
Okay.
get these, it's like, oh, we can't answer this. This is too
Yeah.
personal or whatever. But he answered all of them, so he's ready to go. And they're just gonna go from the top and do his.
We got
much
lore
as he can.
questions
And if
being
he
answered
starts,
right here.
saying something he's not supposed to, Yoshida will stop him.
I bet the players don't want him to stop him though.
まずは
All right, so we're gonna go right into it.
世界設定
The first
メイ
question.
ンシナリオライターの具体的なお仕
All right, so the
事を
first question is, what is it exactly a main scenario writer, world lore creator does?
Yeah. Okay. I'm curious about this. Hungry.
So yeah, he has two jobs. He's both the world lore creator as well as the lead scenario, the lead of the scenario team. So with world lore, I mean, you have to think about you're creating the world,
Yeah.
you're creating all the rules about the world. You think them up. You have to create all the documentation. You have to check all of the quests to make sure that they're following the lore. You have to do all that naming,
Yeah,
all that
makes sense.
flavor text
Yeah.
that goes with everything.
It's a big deal making your own
Things
world.
like the fates, all of those journals, all of that.
I do it on a
help
much
text
smaller scale in
created
D&D,
by
but like
the lore team. And then as a scenario writer, so when you're this made scenario,
Good call.
that lead writer, you're thinking, oh, he's the one writing all of the text. He's actually not. It's mostly he's the lead of that team.
Yeah.
And he's comes up with the original ideas,
Right.
but it's the other writers that
Who
yeah,
actually
they
that
fleshed
write
it all
and then
out.
he checks
Right.
those things to make sure everything's in order.
and fits all together.
小田さんはあれですよね、よく拡張の前にやられたりシナリオ合集とかにも参加されてるってこと
And
そう
so
ですね。
there's,
シナリオ合宿は
before the patch work begins, Yoshi, P, and the main scenario writers all go on a trip
Oh,
to a
yeah.
hotel
have to
and
retreat,
for like the
basically.
retreat. They do it for like 2 or 3 days,
はい、ありがとうございます。
and they just talk about how they're going to create the story. So he's
Yeah.
also
That's really cool.
Part of that,
リージョンから多く
laying the whole groundwork for everything.
Right.
シナリオを執筆される際に
So the second question
どんな
here
ものからイン
is
スピレーションを受けますか？
where does inspiration for the main scenario and the regular stories come from? Oda-san reads a lot of nonfiction and fiction,
Okay.
history, a lot of books and documentaries, National Geographic, lots of, yeah, a lot of stuff. So it depends, though, on what kind of stuff he's writing, and he gets his inspiration from different things.
Different places.
Yeah.
そして割とあれですか、ジャンルで言うといろんなものって感じですか？
So not just focusing on one genre, but he reads a lot of different things. But for example, for the Namazu dailies, that quest, he got his inspiration from a book called Aho Resha by Hakken Uchida.
okay.
I haven't heard of it. I had to go on Wikipedia last
You're
night
like,
and
"Let's
find out about
check
it.
this
But it sounds like a really interesting book.
Huh.
そもそもさ、
Interesting.
その本、昭和初期の本をさ、何きっかけで知るわ
I
け？
mean, it's from the early. It was like the late 1800s or like early 1900s. I think it's from a long time ago.
奥さんどっからああうちだねってコメントがあ
And
って
so
絶
it's
対知ら
just
ないでし
like
ょこれ。
it's like, oh, how do you find those books? I mean, this is some obscure book from like 100 years,
Let's team
100
pop up.
years ago.
It'll go away in a second. There it goes.
勝手なイメージですけど、吉田さんだとこうミステリー好きみたいな
はいはい。
So yeah,
ジャンルあるんですけど
Yoshida-san, you know, we all know that Yoshida loves mystery novels.
Yeah.
Is there any? What about like Oda-san? What kind of things do you like the best? And he likes fantasy
Of
and a
course.
lot of history.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
続いてこれを聞いてどうするんだ的な質問なんです
Fantasy definitely makes sense.
日々の仕事のスケジュールが知りたいです
All right. So the next question is, what constitutes a day in the life of Oda-san? So basically, starts off with it's just checking your mail. We all do that.
Yeah.
And then it's just basically whatever the dev team needs of me.
Yeah.
That's a cool
It's the
spot to
beginning
be
of
in
that patch
with your
schedule.
job.
It's about thinking up all the ideas.
It's just, hey,
that are gonna
where am I
be
needed
core
most today?
concepts
What do I need to
of
work
the
on
patch.
most today?
Again, laying that groundwork for the patch itself.
And then after they start creating stuff, I do checks of those things. And then when we
From
get
the
to the
team.
end of that cycle, then everything that is finalized, then I go and do my final checks. And then in between there, I just write a lot of text. That's the stuff that I work on, like the help text.
Yeah.
吉田さんとの絡みっていうのは割と要所要所である感じなんですか？
And so works a lot closely with Yoshida-san, you know, in tandem with him in his checks.
Makes
They
sense.
have a scenario team meeting every week, and
Every week?
Yoshida P is always at those meetings. But even outside of those meetings, he'll always be doing checks, and he'll be going to Oda-san. It's not like we're going to talk to him at these, you know,
Yeah.
decided times every week. It's just basically when something comes up.
Makes sense.
So we know when we hear.
I
the
have
sound
yet to
of
see a
loud sound of the
quest
boots,
that contradicts
Hind's
another
like, oh,
quest.
no. Yoshida's coming this way.
He's
Which is
Yeah.
insane with how many quests are in this game.
So there's sometimes that when I don't wear those boots, people don't know when I'm coming, and like, the devs hate it.
It's like
It's like,
stealth
no,
missions.
you need to wear those boots so we know when you're coming.
So we can prepare mentally.
I just love the idea of Yoshi P just like stalking
He has
around
to
the
wear those boots now. That's right.
the studio.
Ninja Yoshida is the worst.
Takes his boots off, you know you're in trouble.
Well, the
He
story
sneaks
has
up on
always
you.
been that it was their last
All right,
chance,
here's
right?
the next question.
The last shot they ever got at making a game. That was their final fantasy. That's the story. I don't know how true that
Right.
is.
Are there any books or movies that have inspired you in the past, or that you would recommend to the Warriors of Light? There's a lot of things.
I'm really
that,
curious about
that
this,
have
actually.
affected me,
Like, what he would
but,
recommend.
A couple things. First off, Thomas Bulfinch's Legends of Charlemagne. Again, written like the late
Okay.
1800s, I think.
Yeah, look at it now.
It's basically a story about they took a bunch of myths and legends from England and France and kind of like stuck them all together to make one kind of story to talk about Charlemagne. It's not
Okay.
very popular in
I need to check
Japan,
that out. That
especially
sounds pretty
compared to, like,
cool.
the Arthurian legend, but
Charlemagne.
he really likes it.
Like combining two different.
Gets a lot of good ideas from that.
Yeah. Okay, I'll wind up checking that out. I'm sure.
誰でも書けるねそれあーはいはいトマストマスみたいなことになってますけど
Oh yeah, Neil Friend's his weapons
じゃあ皆さん
the names came from this. He
Huh.
pulls stuff from.
Okay,
ということでじゃあ皆さん覚えましたか
that's cool. That explains why there's so much mythology too in 14.
Thomas Bulfinch's Legends of Charlemagne.
よろしくお願いいたします
All right, go check it out. Amazon sales are going to skyrocket.
Yeah, they
now
are
because
for sure.
Oda himself
The
has
family of the Bulfinch family is like, where did all this money come from?
Gonna make a note of
Next
that
question.
real quick so I don't forget.
What Final Fantasy XIV character or storyline has left the biggest impression on you?
Yeah, I'm really curious about this one.
He doesn't want to say because then he'll think that, oh, Oda likes this character, so he's never going to die. Or
Yeah, that's
I wanna show
fair.
that from,
That's
or
fair.
I'll put
Favoritism
target,
there.
target on his back.
話をしたいんですが、これがですね、ちょっとイベントシーンと言っていいかどうかは微妙なんですけど、パクチ4.3のアルフィロの
Listen.
なりきりバトルとか、
Charlemagne.
one event scene that he really enjoyed reading and working on was the 4.53, where you get to actually play as
As
Alfino.
Alfino.
Yeah, that was a really cool
enjoyed,
instance,
creating
man.
that and working with the programmers.
Did not see that coming. Getting to play as Alfino and having like his Onyx Carbuncle.
And because we were able to do that,
ところの表現っていうのはぐっと幅が広がったなっていう
you know, up until that point, it was hard to show parts of the story that
From other
the
characters.
Warrior of Light was not
Not there,
involved in.
yeah.
Yeah, the Echo was
By
huge
adding
to
this
help
type
out
of
with that,
system,
but
now we can
it
show
wasn't
how it
enough,
actually
right?
show, like,
Even if the Warrior of Light's not going to be there.
Yeah.
So
What's happening elsewhere?
That's really. I'm excited to see where that goes. We get more quests like.
あれはもう小田筆頭にねシナリオチームのこだわりで出来上がってる
but that was one of those things that it was something that they really wanted to do, and you know, and they had their rules.
動かしていいのかっていうゲームの根幹に関わることだったので、
Like about, is it going to be okay to control other characters other than your own character? There wasn't a rule for that, and so we had to go to Yoshiki and get that permission. And so we went to get the permission. It's like, oh yeah, it's fine.
Oh, let's go for it.
Go for it. Go for it. If you can do it.
If you can do it.
Another thing that was had a big impression. It's a little bit spoilers here. But at the end of the Namazu B stripe quest, there's a
Okay.
part where the screen kind of splits into four.
Yeah.
You see
Yes.
three
Like
Namazu in
panels
your
almost,
panels.
yeah.
You see that? To create that took a little bit of imagination. So sometimes you see those static pictures.
Yeah. Like
During the quests.
illustrations and things.
Those static pictures aren't actual pictures; they're actual effects,
Wow.
like
What?
the sparkles and stuff. It
Really?
falls under the same category
Huh.
as that. You create that effect
Like
that's
as
just
an effect.
as a static picture.
Huh.
That's a cool way to do that. To have the image pop up as an effect
But
instead of
during
being.
that, you have the players.
a
there
direct
as well.
image that you're
you
playing
have,
on top
it's
of
supposed to be
it.
static, but then you also have that movement
your-
there.
your
So how did they
character.
create that? If you don't have a system that allows for 4 different screens, you only have one screen.
Yeah.
So what we did was we had a black, just an environment with nothing in it,
Yeah.
just a black background,
Black
and you had the
background.
player in there, and then on top of that you put effects of 3
other
different
Namazu pictures?
Namazu pictures, and those are
That's
effects.
really
And
good.
So it looks
That's
like
really
you have 4
clever.
screens, but it's actually
That's
just one
really
screen
clever.
with this effect on there.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, you just put him in this giant black orb. The player is just kind of standing
Just
there.
standing there
and
by
then
themselves.
effects are like popping over.
That's interesting because you look at that and you think, oh, it must have been, they throw some screenshots in there or something. But
Yeah.
wow, it's really interesting to see.
ちょっと変わった表現をやるのって怖いんですよ。メインストーリーは王道を突っ走ってるので。
And so, talking a little bit about creating the
Yeah, for
stories
sure, man.
that the main scenario, it's hard to do new things because the main scenario is supposed to be that main plot that you're
Right,
supposed
right.
to talk about,
Yeah.
the important things about the story. And so you won't see a lot of I don't know, stuff that you haven't seen, like things that we haven't tried before.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
won't see those in
because
the
you
main
have to
scenario
get the
because
MSQ
we're
out.
working
You can't.
serious on this. But when it comes to those side quests, we can try out a lot of new things. So if like the dev team have ideas, they can use those. We can test those out in the side quests
Yeah,
and
makes
see
a
if
lot
they
of
work
sense.
on, and then adapt those.
一枚絵のようにモーションストップして置いてあったりとかいろんな
Yeah, I think you see that a lot in like the Hildebrand series where they
Oh
they
yeah,
just go-
man. Hildebrand has some
can't-
really cool
you can't
effects.
do
11
that in the
main
main
scenario.
scenario.
Everything
Because then
goes
you'd have
like
people who would love it, but other people,
monochrome,
this doesn't
you know?
Yeah,
belong
this
in the
doesn't
main
fit.
scenario.
Hildebrand stuff is great.
そうですね。
だからちらっと昨日もお話出ましたけど、土間式麻雀やってる時にプレイヤーのカットインを出すっていうのはやろうと思えばできる。
そういうことですよね。
そうです
So now they're talking about like, so because they did that that effect we're talking about with the Namazu quest,
Yeah.
maybe now do something like that during the mahjong playing where you can have like the 4 faces
Yeah.
appear.
That would be really
Face
cool.
off.
Yeah.
メインクエのシナリオを決める際に吉田 P と合宿されるというお話を
Okay, next question is I heard that you have these weekend retreats where you go to some faraway location with Yoshi P and other writers to work on the main scenario. What kind of things do you talk about? What do you eat?
What do you
Is it
eat?
the hotel? Nice, at least.
王感があるからですね。
And yes, it's a very
What a question, man. What a
nice
question.
hotel. No,
No.
it's just a building with a window.
I mean, the
and a
question's
whiteboard.
fine. It's just like the last question was, how do you get this stuff to work like this? And the next question is, what do you eat on your retreats with Yoshi P, though?
From the outside, maybe that was the inspiration for this world of never-ending light.
The light bulb was burnt out and that's all you need.
It's
That's-
dark. We need a world with no dark.
It's all dark here.
まあ新規キャラクターとか敵どんなの出しましょう
But yeah, we talk about what kind of new characters are we going to add, what type of new enemies are we going to add, what type of stories. Is
例えば
we
4.x の前にやるものとすると、その 10x 分割とずーっと決めちゃうってことなんですよ。
And so do you go in and do you decide about not only the 4.0 but like the 4.x stuff as well?
1、2ぐらいまでなんとなくそ
So for that 4.0 retreat, we did up until about 4.2, I think, is when we
こうおしめにかかるみたいなところとか
and decided, okay, we're going to have one
話しやすい感じ
at 4.2, we're going to have one ending, and then so yeah, they do go beyond
Okay.
just the expanse of that 4.0,
But
Interesting.
maybe not necessarily the
but that's all
whole.
the way to the end of
Right.
Yeah.
近所のラーメン屋とかで
And so, what are you eating? Yeah, they went to like ramen place, and when they're eating ramen,
All right.
and then somebody caught him. Like there was a Warrior of Light, and,
Oh, no.
and they're like, "Oh my God, look, we got a picture of Yoshi P eating ramen. He's eating ramen." And it's like Yoshi P is like, "I eat ramen."
Yeah, like,
Ramen.
he's just a guy. He's got to eat.
たまにはね箱根とかね
be nice if they could go to some resort town, you know, nice
Yeah,
onsen.
because like
Yeah.
my sounds about
Recharge.
right is like in my head they're eating at this really nice
Problem is
hotel,
that
right?
there's, you know,
But in
have
actuality, nah, they just went down the street to a ramen place from where they were hanging out.
the main scenario team. There's both males and females on the team, so you go to one of these places, these romantic, you know, onsen locations. And, you know, it used to be in a long time ago in Japan. It's like everyone would just go and you wouldn't think about it. But now you gotta kind of be careful.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Separate.
But these retreats, even though they're in these small rooms in Tokyo somewhere, they're a lot of fun because you come up with a lot of great ideas.
Yeah, and if you guys saw I think it was PAX East last year, Ishikawa-san showed some pictures from their retreat.
Yeah, I did see those pictures.
All right,
Actually.
so the next question here. We have, so I understand that if the Asians resurrect Zodiac, things will
Here
be
we
bad
go,
for Highland.
lore.
But just exactly how bad?
Lore, here we go.
Of course, Oda-san's not going to say exactly how bad.
Yeah,
but
no,
his
sure.
one hint is the definition of bad depends on from whose perspective you're looking at it.
That's fair. It's a fair
But,
answer.
you know, when you think about it, the world's already been split into 14. That's pretty bad if you
Yeah.
think about
Yeah,
it.
that's already. Not
The
a
only way it
great
gets
thing.
worse is like no light, all dark, void sent everywhere,
It's pretty unstable.
which is what's happening on the 13 shard right now.
でもその不安定さが当たり前だと思ってる人は何してくれてんのみたいな状態だ
Of
し
course, yeah. In this unstable situation here, you have, you know, some people are going to be like, this sucks. What are they going to do? Other people are going to be like, no, this is a great situation for us.
いよいよ5.0で確信に迫って
So 5.0 though will answer a lot of these questions.
Yeah,
So,
I'm super
I'm
excited to
not
see
gonna
it.
talk about it a lot here.
14って例えばこう正義っていうテーマ一つとっても誰にとっての正義なのかねっていうところが割と見えるじゃないです
I mean,
か。この人は正義と思ってるんだけどこっちから見る
we
よ
have
だから争い起こって
14
る
is
みたいな
it's a good game in that we keep things gray. You know, if this is like okay, this is right and this is just for one party, it might not be right for the other party.
Right.
But then if you look at it from like, for example, you know, the Garleans are doing things that they think is the right.
Are the
Yeah,
right things to
no,
do, right?
For them,
absolutely.
they're in the right. From the Eorzan side, or maybe the Doman side, they're like, no, this is the wrong.
Right.
So it's depends.
all about
and like
perspective.
having it, you know, it's the perspectives there, not just saying this is
There's
evil,
no
this is
black
bad.
and white.
It's showing
Yeah,
that
Varys
it's
is
gonna
doing
be
what he
different
thinks
for
is the
different
right
people.
thing to do. That's why he met with us in 4.5, is because he honestly thought we could come to some kind of resolution.
So yeah,
to do
there'll be a
things
lot
his
of
way.
characters in 5.0. A lot of that you'll be able to relate with, but maybe even more that you know that maybe you won't be able to relate with. It's
That's
just
really cool.
depends on
Really
the
hyped for
depends
that.
on the
Right.
character.
中に帝国に共感するわみたいな人がいたりしましたから
I mean, every now and then you look on the forums and people are like, you know, oh, I really agree with what the Garlean Empire is doing. You know,
I want to join the Garland.
Yeah,
wanna
because
join
like
the
in
Garlean Empire. When can
in
we
some
join the
ways, the
Garlean Empire?
Guardians make
I mean,
sense.
It's all about perspective.
It's just that
All right,
the way
next
they're
question.
going about doing it is something that our
So after
character
the battle
like
at
cannot
Cardinal
stand.
Flats, Louis Swat transports the Warrior of Light
Heck yeah.
5 years into the future.
Yes.
So why 5 years? And do the Warriors of Light themselves remember it like it was yesterday, or like
I have
it
a
was 5
theory
years
on
ago?
this one. I have a theory on why 5 years exactly.
特に明確に5年後っていう時間を指定して飛ばそうとしたわけではない。
So when Louis Swat, you know, sends them 5 years into the future, he's
Yeah.
not using a spell that sends you exactly
Right, right.
5
Right.
years into the
Yes.
future.
Okay. That's
he
confirmation.
understands that
That
the
was my
destruction
theory. It's
that
just
has
that it
already
sent
been,
them forward,
wrought
not
is
that
going
it
to be
was
bad.
like
So
a
he's thinking,
specific amount
I
of
need to
time.
send the Warrior of Light to a place that is where he or she will be safe.
Like yeah.
And
Okay.
that 5 years was a result of that.
Right.
The spell, I guess, decided, okay, 5 years is going to be enough to.
Interesting.
Yeah, like Louis Swat did not know
So
what was
whether
going to
the
be safe,
player
when
feels
it was
like
going
it's
to. He just
yesterday or
sent
5
them
years ago,
away,
that's
and
up to
5
the
years
player.
later is when they came out.
It's all your own headcanon.
That's right.
That was my going theory, was that he just sent them forward in time, not knowing how far it was going to be
So,
or anything like that.
the truth about Eureka was pretty surprising.
Yes,
Did you guys
okay.
have this planned
Colonel
out
Ozma,
a long
let's
time
go.
バル島に関しての設定的な前振りっていうのをやったのは計画的なんですが、いや
So introducing the Isle of Val
Yeah.
back a long time ago, I think it was in Heavensward, that was planned. But what we were going to do with it, that was all ad lib. We just made
Right.
that up when we decided that Eureka was going to be.
And the
And
Nile of
Eureka, all of those, a lot of those ideas came from Yoshi's Island. It's like, why don't we do this with the island? We have this island.
Yeah, we have this mysterious
Let's
island.
do this. So,
Yeah, we knew about the Isle of Al for like ever.
登場してますが、あれが
Yeah, he could have sent them like a billion years into the future.
まあ 5.0
He didn't know. He was just getting them away from Bahamut, right?
バルトとエウレカっていうキーワードを回収する場所がないっていう問題が僕の中にあって、だったらもうどっちも全部その一箇所で解決しよう。
okay, so when deciding on the 5.0 story and what was going to happen with the Crystal Tower and stuff, we had all ideas were being used there, but we had these two things left over. We had the Isle of Val, and then we had Eureka. And it's like, where are we going to use this? And then Yoshi was like, okay, if we can't use this here in 5.0, let's put it in this content and use it here and explain both of them with in this content.
Yeah.
そういう意味ではファイナルファンタジー14のこの長い歴史
Oh no, there was like a million other ways that it could have been done that would have probably been better for the interim for those 5 years, right? And for letting the Warrior Light be able to be a force.
So
But
looking back at,
Louis
Final
Swad just
Fantasy
wanted
XIV
him not to
history,
die.
back through 1.0, and there were a lot of storylines that pretty much were supposed to continue but ended, and there's still a lot of them that haven't been tied up. And so
1.0, yeah.
we want to try to tie up as many of those as possible. We understand there's a lot of players out there, legacy players that have been playing since 1.0, and they want to see the ends of these stories, even if they're from a long time ago. And so
Yeah,
it's
like
my
there's
job to try to find
so many more
all of
1.0
these
characters, like the
ends
Amber
and
Tree
tie 'em up.
and everything there that's never been brought back. Like what's going on?
Right, the next question
Child
is,
disappeared.
Really
Like,
looking
what's
forward to the
going on
Shadowbringers
there?
story. How far along is it? Can you tell us anything that won't you get killed by Yoshipi?
として今後のヒントはもう隣の人が怖すぎるので
Yeah, I can't give any more hints. This guy next to me.
He looks.
It's,
Yoshi's just ready.
メインとかサブとかその他いろいろ
as for how much we have written right now,
まあ全体的には8割
it's about 80-90% of the stories
Nice.
Okay.
complete. But there's still a lot of smaller sub-quests, side quests.
Yeah.
Also,
That have to be
those
filled out.
unlock quests to unlock content. That's what we call
Yeah.
unlock quests. We have a lot of those as well.
並行して出来上がったものをチェックして
And it's about checking those. The teams are working on those, and me checking those, and then making sure that they fit.
当然ですけど、詳細プロットと呼ばれるもうかなりその収録はもう
Yeah, no, Yoshi P was ready to just stop that whole conversation.
As for like the voice scenes, the voice is pretty much all taken, and so all the voiced scenes are
Okay.
done, and all
Cool.
of the scenes that connect those main scenario things were at like pretty much the last part.
Yeah.
Voice work was a thing in Heavensward that
Of the
slowed
main
everything
quests were
down.
pretty much up to
So it
the
seems like they've
last-
learned
at
from
least the
that and
last
have
chapter of
have
5.0.
made sure all the voice lines are
And then
recorded.
also in the background, we have a lot of people working on a lot of side quests. Like I said, about 90% of them are in the game in some
form.
form. And then at the end of this month, I got to start checking my instant dungeons. And then
Okay.
next month, I go into my scenario quest checks
Okay.
and sub-quest checks.
So hopefully it's 100% by that.
ちょっといろんなキャラクター
Hopefully, at least for us in Loke 2. We got to
Yeah.
translate
Yeah,
this.
right.
クエストでエスティニアンはすでに流れている血の半分は竜のものだと言っています。
Okay, so
実際に彼の
in
中には
Heaven's Word, the main scenario, Estinian talks about how his blood is more than half dragon blood.
Yeah,
Is it really?
because the eye and Nidhogg.
And is that why he was able to destroy the cannons at Castrum, Albania, all by himself?
に関して言えば、まあ、実際に血が混じっていることというよりは、まあ、竜の目からずっと
This is more just an illusion. His blood is not actually
Okay,
Didn't have a
clarification.
master blood,
Clarification.
And he's already drawn so much ether.
The point is
from,
that he has become
Nidhogg's
more
eye that he's being
almost
he's
as
starting to
much
feel the
dragon
effects of it in
as
his
man.
body. So it feels like he's got
Through-
the blood of a dragon. but
through
it's
the
not
eye,
actual,
but it's
like,
not
transfusion
actual.
he
Okay.
did.
Yeah.
Okay, so Estinian's gonna be okay then.
But it is true that the
That's-
power.
that's a huge thing.
Because
Because it means he's not suddenly just gonna become a dragon again. Like he's still warring with it, but it's not gonna take over. It could still take over, but it's not
Next
like
question.
slowly
Are
gaining
the
ground.
NPCs' birthdays
It's important.
Decided. If they are, I want to know them.
There are people at
so I
my
can
FC
celebrate them.
that
And
will
if
be
they're not,
very
I want
happy
you
to
decide
hear
them so I
that
can celebrate
Estinian
them.
will be okay.
Right now.
担当するシナリオライターによって細かく設定を決める人と
Depends on the writer. Some writers will in detail
Yeah.
the backgrounds of a lot of their characters. Some don't.
Okay.
For me, I don't really.
Mm.
I mean, we always have the age. The age
Right,
is
right,
important. But when it
Birthday,
comes to
not so
birthday,
much. I mean,
Is
it would
this-
be
is this
cool to
important?
know when
Do
my
people really
favorite
wanna know the
NPCs'
birthday?
birthdays are, you know? But
Those should be
it's not a
things
thing that I
yes.
have to have.
I'm
People
sure.
are clapping. People want
yeah,
to know the birthday.
I'm sure people do want to know the exact date.
There's one specific NPC that I'd love to know his birthday.
But once you
Which is
start deciding
Harshfall.
on birthdays, then people are like, oh, then what is the date in
Yeah.
in World? What
Yeah,
year is
it-
it?
it
in
leads
World?
to a
And
whole big
Then it starts
thing.
getting a little
Problem.
bit. We have our
It
the
gets
whole, we talked about the
squirrely.
Simpsons bubble.
Yeah.
Time does not flow the same in our world that it does in
Flows.
anywhere
It flows
else.
in a circle.
Yeah, in a way.
It's how we can have a
Alright.
year not pass but celebrate Halloween
So
3
next question
times.
is, when Final Fantasy XIV characters are used in other games and collaborations, do you
Yeah.
check their lines and actions?
That's a good question, actually.
Yes.
'Cause
as
Y'shtola's
a
in
creator,
Dissidia
That is
now.
one of my jobs, is to check these things.
Interesting.
But what's really good for me is that the creators that are working on those in other games, a lot of them are Warriors of Light themselves, and they often know a lot more about the lore than me.
That's good. That's good.
So yeah, the Dissidia game, Opera Omnia.
Mm-hmm.
When I checked the
Man,
scenario for probably you could tell that
Yeah.
okay, this person has played
know,
14
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, because Stola is really well done in Dissidia. Her lines are on point. That is Stola,
So
100%.
because 14 is an MMO, the story is changing with every patch.
Yeah.
But the person that was playing Dissidia, they knew how the character had changed over all of this. So it wasn't just oh, I just did a quick check.
Right,
This
right,
person
right.
is obviously
There
been playing
was
14
there
for a long
was a
time.
spoiler update to Dissidia as well recently, based on the most recent trailer. Basically confirms a thing that the trailer reveals about Stola.
So yeah, he's just commenting on about how again we have a lot of this collaboration.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job.
Recently, and
Oda's doing
we
a
find
really
that,
good job.
when other companies or other development teams come to us with they have these ideas that they want to use Final Fantasy XIV characters, they always come prepared. And
Never
even if
just
they want to
like-
do
yeah.
something a little bit different than what's in the game, they always ask okay, I know that in the game this character uses this weapon, but it would be cool if we could use it. Is that going to be okay? And it's all right. So here's the next question. I play a Rogadin character, and I've always wondered what a young Rogadin looks like. Please tell me their
It's a
character.
good question.
So actually, I also play a Rogadin myself.
Really? Oda's a
I've
Oda's
also
a
been
bro.
wondering the same thing.
Because they don't really get into the kids ever, right?
I've wanted for a long time to create the model of a Rogadin child.
They're
But we always
kid
talk about development costs.
Pure.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, sorry, we don't have the resources. We can't do it. And then when it comes out, it's always like, oh well, we'd like to make it, but let's make a
And they make,
a
like,
Mikote
kid
child
sure.
first. And then the next time it's like, okay, now we have the
Now it's
child.
our turn.
It's
By taking, like, a
we're gonna
male
child, an
pure
aura child
And
next.
shrinking them.
And so they've always taken precedence. And I won't give up though, and I really want one. And so
Yeah, Ro Kids being around would be really cool.
Eyeing Yoshida.
NPC の作成権限をね、全て握ってますからね。
なるほど。確かに私も趣味でル
I think one thing that might help Oda a lot is that he's
Fox Spawn is
between
also
Yeah, he's
two people he's
he's a
normally
Rogadin.
between, you know?
And
Fox plays a
when
Ro
you
too?
hear that we always get pushed back by the Mikote and the Aura. I don't think that's fair either. So
And the All Ra recently got kids as well in the game with Stormblood.
yesterday we
There were
announced,
some in the Awesome Steps.
the Sin Eaters. Right?
Yeah.
妖精さんはあそこにいるって言われてたのに、ルガディンは積み食いなんじゃないかっていう。
And so people saw that and wait a minute, in the first are Rugadin's Sin Eaters because they're all pasty white and large and muscular.
早かったみたいですね。それ
No.
Or Rose, man. Kara Swiss is a Ro. I like Rogadin.
はこちらです。
All right, next question.
吉田 P が、アウラの愛情表現は角を
So before, Yoshi-P said that the Aura rub their horns together as a sign of affection.
Yeah.
Now, I realize that Yoshi-P probably made this up, but I think it'd be pretty cool if it was real. Can we make it official here?
Yoshi was on the spot, to be
So,
fair.
this is not something I can decide, so I think that Yoshida can decide this. Sure, is it okay?
Is
I
it
just
okay?
made that up at, you know.
Yeah, he made it up on the
there.
spot.
Is
I knew
really
it.
Okay. Oh yeah, someone asked me. It's like, don't those horns get in the way? And I'm like, no. It's probably they rub them together, and that's an expression of love. And I was like, if Oda-san's cool with that, then it's like, okay, then it's done. It's official.
Yep, there you go. It's confirmed. When all around love each other very much.
As of right
They
now,
rub horns.
rubbing horns together. That's how the Aura show their affection.
There you go. Confirmed.
Lore.
Really?
Done.
Really?
Lord. You just got Lord.
I have two
But, I mean, this
three
is how,
all-around
you know,
characters,
we
so I
create
mean,
some of the lore. You just
might be
have
important
these
information to know.
conversations
Who
going back and
knows?
forth. All right, next.
Nice.
All right, so there is a
It'll help
some
me if I
strange
get a
lettering
quest that
on
has
some of the
a
monk and scholar gear
rub
obtainable
of
in the
horns,
Omega raids.
like
Is
option.
this language used on Omega's home planet? What does it say?
Yes. Okay.
So I don't want to give a definitive answer here. I kind of want to just leave it open.
Okay.
It could be. I mean, it could be maybe some language that Omega learned on one of his trips.
Team overlay is a
it
problem.
could
Be a
be
strong
that I
warrior.
cannot
some
turn off
language
anymore.
used by one of the bosses that he recreated in his interdimensional rift.
Okay.
I like to leave it open, especially because Omega's that type of character.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
history there.
There's a lot of
and
history too.
being
Okay,
able to do
that's
a lot
fair,
of different
that's
things.
fair.
Like, oh, it could be this, it could be this. And it's kind of,
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna Fantasia one of my Aura into Rothgar.
The writers are just like,
Or
"We
Vieira,
want
I don't
you
know.
to-"
Yeah.
I want to have one
Okay,
of every
so here's the
race
next
at
question.
least.
So, how do you lore splain the duty finder?
Ah.
Okay. This is a weird question.
So yeah, you go to a dungeon the second time. Hey, the boss is back. How is that possible?
Because like they're not a lore.
So, how do you lore splain it? You don't.
Yeah. There you go. Okay. Otis right there. Yeah. Exactly. It doesn't
Yeah,
make
it's
sense in
just, you know,
lore.
part of the system. It's maybe like you're just experiencing it again in your
Reliving
mind.
memories.
I mean, again, this is part of the game system, like a quality of life thing. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't worry too much about trying to force some.
Like
kind
if
of
you could
backstory
only
to
do a
games
dungeon
like this,
one
because it just
time so
feels
that it
expensive.
didn't conflict
Yeah,
with lore, that
it's
would be
very much a game thing.
infuriating.
Yeah.
I'm glad that his opinion
Kind
on
of
that is just
related,
no. That's
so,
that's the
I've
game
always wondered
side.
where my companion
has to
Chocobo is
happen.
coming from when I call her and where she goes when I dismiss her. And this
Team
is
overlay.
the same thing. You shouldn't think
No.
too hard
About these.
on this one. I mean, once you start asking this question,
Some pretty rough questions to hit him
you
with on
start
his
thinking,
first time
"Oh,
out here.
How do all those weapons and gear fit in
Yeah,
my little
exactly.
bag?"
holding them all.
Okay, Steam overlay, you gotta stop.
It's like you have what was it, almost tons of mounts.
Yeah.
So are they all like just following you,
Just a
like
long line.
in the shadows? I need this one.
They're hiding
Bring me my
behind
ladder.
trees, waiting.
So this is more just like it assist with your lore play. I
Right.
mean,
Yeah,
yes, you have
like-
your companion Chocobo, and you know if you're gonna lore play, yes, he's always with me. Maybe you can make it like hiding behind a tree somewhere.
Yeah, like in
just ready
lore,
to
your
come.
Chocobo companion would just always be around,
Ah, they're
and you're
teleporting.
bringing them out when you're using
He
the.
says they're teleporting.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, sure,
That
Yoshi.
carpet
Okay.
teleports. The cloud.
Teleporting.
All right. So
Simply just hit him with magic.
okay. So next question. I always thought that the new world was someplace almost impossible to get to, but in the Blue Mage
Huh.
Quest, we
It's
learned
just-
that people come back and forth in there all the time. So
It's just
why can't
over the
warrior of
ocean.
light get to the new world easily?
We'll get there one day, I'm sure. We gotta go see the
so
Wallaki.
It's not really easy to get there, but it's not completely inaccessible. I mean, you look at like the Far East.
Right.
It was always there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that it wasn't easily accessible.
It took us a
It's
boat
the
ride
same
that
thing.
in canon took like 2
lore-wise.
weeks to
It
get
is
there.
accessible. It's just hard to get there currently, but maybe once an easy way to get there opens up and is discovered, then boom, we'll maybe someday be able
Like
to
they
go
can't
to the
just.
inner world as
This is
well.
the thing that always gets me with these questions. They can't just give you the entire game world all at once, right? Because then what's going to be in the next expansion?
as the creator, I do want, now that we've talked about it so much in game, I want the players to be able to someday go there.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to go to the New World, but I understand
so
that's
next,
probably next
the might
expansion
of
or the one
Imperial
after.
Army was on display in the Gimlet Dark against a foe so powerful. Why didn't the Orzians get their collective asses handed to them? Why haven't the Garleans been able to take over Eorzea?
Because it was just fighting together.
So yeah, you remember like the 1.0 opening.
Yeah.
It's like, the might of the Garleans. But then you also think about the other trailers we've had. It's like, look at the Orzians. I mean, there are dragoons
Yeah,
who can jump hundreds of yalms high, and
People,
you've got black mages. that
people
are
pretty
attacking
strong on the
and
Eorzea
taking
side
Yeah.
too. We got
spell.
magic.
So yeah,
Garlemald doesn't have that.
usually humans can't jump that high. I mean, the Eorzeans are powerful in their own way. I mean, the Garleans have their magitech, but as we know in the lore,
Yeah.
Garleans, at least the pure-blooded Garleans, can't use magic.
Right.
Whereas in Eorzea, Eorzeans have this realm that is flush with ether, and so you get powerful. So it's magic versus technology is kind of a look at it. And then you also have, the Garleans are overwhelmed with numbers as well. But
Right. Yeah, now we have the might of Alamigo, Ishgard, Uldog, Gridania, and Limsa, like all coming together to fight them at
yeah,
war.
the Eorzeans have their magic, and so that's what makes them powerful.
Yeah.
All right, and I think that's all the time
Aw.
we have. We've got
Oda-san is
through
gonna-
20 questions.
Gonna head off.
Pretty good. So, thank you very much, Oda-san.
Oda did a great job. He needs to come out for every live letter now. But yeah, to go back to my thing a minute ago about like you can't just give everybody the whole world.
Mr.
When you do that, what you get then is situations like with Pandaria, where we had no idea Pandaria existed in WoW, right? And then they were just like, actually, there's this place with a whole nother race that's been over here this whole time, not doing anything. It's like, oh, well, but
Yeah,
okay, I
when we
guess.
do these lore panels.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where we are in the world. I mean, everyone just kind of, they sit and they listen.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody wants to know more about the world. And
Yeah.
when you have a world this big, there's so much information. So it's a lot of fun.
Build
All
2
right.
books already.
We're going to continue on into the important information,
Oh, yeah.
our
Okay,
announcements here.
we
So
go.
we'll start off with pre-orders,
Pre-orders, yes.
currently underway. If you
Already
pre-order,
have
you get
both the two
Baby
things. Do
Gremlin
not yet have
and
early
Aetherite
access, but that's coming.
immediately to use right now.
28.
Yep.
As well as
Those
that early
Aetherite earrings are
access that
amazing,
gets
by
you
the way,
in,
for XP.
to Shadowbringers a week early.
トレーラーで昨日オールグレムリンという可愛いシチュエーションがございまして、あれで人気が上がっているんじゃないかと期待しておりますので。
Yeah, we saw in the trailer yesterday the gremlin kind of shirking back,
Yeah.
all scared.
Yeah, a little scary. A little kawaii.
Gremlin's popularity has risen. All right, next we have a new
Journey's
album, called
Arrangement.
Journeys.
Okay.
Arrangement album.
Wednesday, June
Third arrangement
19th.
album. Yes. Oh,
Okay, it's got the stuff
I
by
hear,
Susan on it, too.
Soken Yay in the background. So we have both band and piano arrangements.
Okay, it's got the primal on
The
there.
primals, yes, a lot
Yeah.
of new, never before
There's
heard
bonus in-game item codes
primals,
for 2 orchestral.
arrangements, as well as
Nice.
piano arrangements with Keiko and Susan Calloway.
Oh, nice.
This
So a
is
lot of this will
June
be
19th. Is this,
Omega stuff?
worldwide?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, nice.
いやー素晴らしい楽曲
I mean, should be around the same timing, yeah.
Okay.
So you can pre-order
Actually, we have
Shadowbringers
that
now, and you
as
get
well.
Yep, I
we'll have
believe
it up on sites
pre-orders-
as well.
early access on the
Pre-orders
28th,
kick off,
but you also get
today.
Oh, and then yeah, the price up there as well. So
Like,
39.
you get an in-game Aetherite earring.
Pounds.
It gives bonus XP
and then
for
39
leveling
euros. Okay.
up
Oh,
until level
it's just
70.
It's like literally a foot
And
away
you
rather than the one
get,
that's
a
500
minion.
feet away.
And you get that stuff right now. You just can't access Shadowbringers until early access. But those Aetherite earrings are good for leveling.
All right. Is that it for the announcements? We have one more. One more thing to talk about.
そうですね今日はですねプロデューサーされた第50回
So
で
this
です
is
ね
our
むしろ
again
このおしらさ
50th
本番かという
Yes.
Yep.
手を出しておりま
letter
して
from Visitors Live, and we have a very
Yeah, but you
important-
pre-order the
very, very
expansion.
important announcement. So we're gonna
Like, the expansion's not free. Expansions are never free in MMOs.
This trailer.
All right.
Okay? Stola. Xenos. A little Xenos. In Dissidia? Is that what this is? Xenos is gonna be in Dissidia? I'm game for this. Man, I will play as Xenos so much. Xenos Galvis is one of my favorite villains in the entire series. Yeah.
超越者として神をも従えてみせる。
やったー。
Yep.
So,
Oh man, attendees will be able to play as
Final
Xenos
Fantasy,
there.
the newest character to be released, Xenos Galvis.
そうですね、ヴィランという悪役も登場するのがデシディアのいいところなんですが、その
Yeah,
ヴィラン側にですね、
one of the cool parts about Dissidia is that you don't always get the protagonist, but you get antagonists
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we get
That's a cool choice too, because like, who else was it
the
gonna be,
arcade
guys?
version, I think
It definitely was not gonna be
Wednesday next week.
like
And then a PlayStation
Sword.
4 version, Steam version, April 11th. I
April
think is-
11th. We're gonna be playing as Xenos. We're gonna be playing as Xenos.
And this is for people here, actually, in the messe. In about 5 minutes,
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be able to
they
play
are
as
now
Xenos
going
there.
to
Lucky
add
jerks.
Xenos to. They have a bunch of arcade machines
nice.
here. for
Lucky
players to
jerks.
play. So yesterday,
I see some people heading over there now.
you
Actually.
couldn't play it yesterday. Today, you're able to play Xenos.
That's really cool.
And you get a prize if you play it as well. That
Yeah,
should
they
be
have
pretty
like I think a clear file
Yeah.
of Xenos. I really want that Ishtola one.
Yep.
It's probably going to be crowded, but those lucky.
Probably a bit.
Yeah, there's only.
But no, to
15,000
clarify real
people
quick,
here.
expansions ever since like World of Warcraft, they've
Oh, and so we have in
I
one
think
of
BC
the
was like
Naoki's rooms,
$40.
we have Hazama-san, the director
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
of Dissidia,
For a
will be
while.
there, and I was going to talk a little bit about
Nice.
the expansions have
how
always
they
been.
brought
The only one that
that
wasn't
character
was
to
2.0,
Dissidia,
because
the types
2.0
of
was a
things they
fix to the
focused
game.
on during that development. So that should be pretty cool. If you're interested, they're probably going
Obviously, still had to pay for it if you didn't have
be able to play
Team.
up on stage as well, so you get to see the director. Maybe even Hazama-san and Yoshida-san will battle on stage.
Really? Be cool to see. Xenos Galvis, man.
That sounds
What a
like
great villain.
everything that we have. It's only been 56 minutes.
Not bad. That's kind of fast.
He's checking to
Now
see
I
if
just wanna-
everything is,
We're gonna do this real quick,
さてさて、終わり
maybe-
so we don't have to worry about
So is
that
that it?
happening anymore.
これね、
There we go.
You can't.
Um,
Be it.
man, I want to play as Xenos right
They're
now.
coming in front.
What is your shirt, Yoshi? What is your shirt?
He's taking off his. Oh, he's getting.
What is your
serious.
shirt?
What's going on here?
Oh,
he's
he's
putting
putting on
on.
a
He's putting
jacket?
on a.
What are you doing right now, Yoshi?
What's gonna happen? Something strange is gonna happen. They're gonna get ready. What are they gonna do? They're calling in staff members. What's going on?
That shirt, Yoshi P.
He's asking everybody to wait a little minute while they prepare. What do you know what's going on here, Matt?
I don't know. I'm not.
ちょっとですね、
What is
It's
about to
important.
happen here?
を使ってですね、大きなお知らせが
They're going to announce
Wow,
something
they're quickly breaking
very
down
big.
the
Yes.
stage.
Yoshi P is leaving the project. No.
No. Don't even joke,
That's a
Koji.
soundbite. Thanks, Koji.
That's what he said, man. He's got an iPad. This is.
He's ready.
Is that an
He's
iPad? It's some kind of tablet.
He's got his glasses on.
He's got his glasses on. This is
What
serious.
are they about to do here?
There's tons of cameras in front of the stage right now.
What is about to happen? What does this man have?
They're showing that. Look at all those cameras.
What is about to be? What do the press know that we don't know?
We've got. So maybe that's like because it's producer, it's the PLL, it's the 50th.
Oh,
that
that's
like
right.
all
That's
of the
probably what
media,
it was.
national media's here
Yeah.
for number 50.
Are they about to reveal a healer?
They have like they're checking the white levels.
Oh.
They about to reveal Geo?
This is a
That's
PLL.
number 50. You know.
Letter from the producer live. When have we ever done this?
What are they about to do?
Like the crowd here is like silent. Nobody knows what's going on right now.
What's happening?
会場の皆さん、こいつら何言い出したんだって感じでしょうけど、すみません。今、ホワイトを取っております。もう少し続けましょうかね。
They're almost ready.
取れましたら教えていただいてもよろしいですか。
Not just the crowd. Like I don't.
Oda, you know.
I'm so nervous right now.
さあ、どうでしょうか。よろしそうですかね。
大丈夫ですか。
はい、OK そうですね。
ではホワイトバランスは
じゃあ、ホワイトのくだりは
All right, looks like they've got that white balance. Now they're gonna do sound check. Sound
What are
check.
they doing?
Yoshi P.
こちらがですね、私吉田のマイクでございます。大丈夫ですかね。はいはい。
All right,
All right, that's
Yoshi does
one.
mic check.
White balance is good.
こちら1番のマイク
The
です。
number one. This
Number
is
one. Okay.
this is
1番のマイクになっております。大丈夫でしょう
What
か。
are you doing, Yoshi P?
this is different from the hoverboard Yoshi P that we
Yoshi
saw
P
yesterday
yesterday.
when he came out on his hoverboard and waved to the
はい
crowd.
大丈夫ですね。ありがとうございます。
続きましてこちら私 MC のマイクです。MC のマイク。
MC mic. Oh, Foxconn.
急に MC とか言い出したぞあいつみたいな感じですけど。
MC.
I'm speechless, right? Like I'm super concerned.
よろしいでしょうか。
Wow, everybody in all of the lines around us are now like they're all turned to the stage. They've gotten everybody's attention.
MC のマイクこちらで。
Staff members are looking at the stage. No one's working.
なるほどですね。
Oh,
Fried chicken is burning in the fryers.
これで準備は大体 OK なので最後に、マスコミ以外の会場にお集まりの光の選手の皆様に
お知らせ
お知らせとお願いがございます、ここから先プロデューサーレターライブのコーナーが終わって、吉田さんと私が下がるまでの間は、写真と
Oh, wow.
動画の撮影
They
は
are
ご遠慮ください
preventing pictures and video capture from now until the end of the letter of the producer live. Asking everybody to turn off their cameras, their phones.
is that gonna affect us?
はいSNS
Is the feed gonna be
で
cut?
見ていただくのは構いま
Ah,
せん
they don't mind, I guess, tweeting, but no videos.
I see.
あとむしろじゃんじゃん言ってください
But they actually, yeah, they want people on Twitter saying like, "What's going on? What's going on?"
皆様に限らせていただきますので、
ツイッタートレンド一番上行くぞっていうつもりで
Ah, they want this to trend. Number one trending
皆さんできる
Final Fantasy 14. What is it?
いいですか写真動画はすいません
My heart is in my throat.
皆様のみとさせていただきます
I'm so
of media here.
nervous.
よろしいですか
There's cameras down in front.
Mm.
よろしいですかね
All right, I think we're ready. I think they got the go sign. All right, so we want everybody to watch the screen.
All right.
First, let's check out this video.
いつからだろう父との間に会話がなくなったのもしかしファイナル
Yeah,
ファンタジー
Father of Light,
14
right?
このオンラインの世界に父を誘い正体を隠し共に旅をする
I still haven't watched that. I need to watch
こ
it.
れは父を知るための秘密の計画劇場版光のお父さん
I still need to watch that.
吉田さん
はい
なんかどえら
Or did it never come out? It might not have come out.
So we just saw.
I'm just nervous because,
trailer,
like, what's gonna happen?
poster.
Like, what is this announcement?
14をプレイするね
Dad of Light.
Yeah.
Dad of Light.
Movie. The
A
movie.
movie. Not a short. A movie.
実話の物語
So if you know, this is
That
a
would-
true story
That wouldn't have been
taken from a player blog.
Yeah.
wouldn't have
was
made
made
this big of a
into,
deal for that though.
TV drama,
series,
a
yep.
TV series.
Oh
and
yeah,
this year
TV series. I haven't seen the series.
it will be remade again into a movie.
That's gonna be cool. That'll bring a lot of like
Night, the movie.
a lot
Or
of
Daddy Play.
views to 14 as
Daddy
well.
Play.
Officially.
But they wouldn't have done all this for that, right? All that setup.
So, what they're gonna do? This is the world premiere announcement of this.
Have they ever walked away from the table for a letter from the producer live?
So the reason we're able to create this is because of everyone
these
here
people
support.
here, yeah.
Final Fantasy 14 and its fans.
聞きたいことが山盛りなんですが
So there's probably a lot we want to know. Let's,
That's pretty cool. Like people were.
asking Yoshida, how do you feel? It's like, of course Yoshida's excited.
マイディさん、オンラインゲームを、とにかく愛してやまない一人の、いわば皆さんと本当に同じ一人のオンラインゲーマーとして、
Because like they could have done that from the table. You know what I mean? Like I get why they didn't want people to take pictures or videos because they want to share the
This all
official
started
videos.
with a single player, a player who loved Final Fantasy 14 and was just writing this blog,
Writing a blog.
and this blog that everyone started reading and started loving themselves. It's just is a miracle that something like this could start off as a simple blog, become a TV series, and now
Yeah.
it's gone. It's now a movie.
It's really cool.
That's
But
It's really
pretty amazing.
exciting.
素晴らしいものに今仕上がりつつあります。この劇場版より多くの方にお届けしたいと思いますし、
And we want, by making it a movie, make it more accessible to even more fans and more people
Yeah,
that maybe
absolutely.
weren't able to see the movie or maybe don't know anything about Final Fantasy
yeah.
14. Introduce them to the game, the
制
story.
作時についてお話伺えるでしょうか。
劇場制作スタッフなんですけ
So
ど、
we're talking a little bit about the staff,
そもそも
the
制作
creators.
に関しては、現実パート、リアルパートの野口監督はじめ、全スタッフドラマ版から続投です。
So all of the creators of the series are actually going to be the creators, including the director.
oh,
Nobu's
that's
son,
really cool.
are
That's
going
really
to
nifty.
be,
Working the movie.
そのまま撮影に参加
And instead of getting a new team, they kept the team.
前回はですね、
That's really cool.
深夜30分のテレビドラマ、今回は2時間の当然劇場版ですので、
So before
脚本すべて一新しております。
the series in Japan, it was a late night show. You
Yeah.
couldn't watch it until I think it was like 12:30, like after midnight. It started at 12:30 every week
Right.
in the nights. And it was a full series. Now it's going to be a 2-hour movie. They took the whole script and they rewrote it, but it's the same writers.
スケールアップして
Okay.
劇場版をお
That's
届
cool.
けしたいと思います。はい。現在撮影なんと真っ最中。
And they're currently filming actually right now.
そして今、先ほどスクリーンで
Cool.
ご覧いただいたポスターには、坂口健太郎さんと
So
吉田
you
鋼
saw
太郎
on
さんが映されており
the
ました
poster
が
two of the actors,
ゲストの方ご紹介お願いします。
Kotaro Sakaguchi and Kotaro Yoshida, two very famous actors in Japan, are going to be the son and the father.
今日人物相関図をここで
But because this is Japan, we're going to show one of those little relationship maps
Oh, okay.
that we love over here to show who is who,
Yeah.
relationships.
脚本に合わせてですね、
Dad and son.
キャストも新生一新して
And so all the cast, so this is one thing that's changed from the series. The actors are different.
書き下ろしたので、
So we have a new script and new actors,
Okay.
and we chose actors that would fit that script.
西さんっていうところで、ゲームを通じてかつ父とこの物語っていうのをしっかり出していくために、今回原作に
And unlike the series where you had many different hours,
ドラマ版
you have
ドラマもさらに描いていく
only 2 hours to tell this story
Yeah.
and tell about this relationship. And so
I really need to
they
watch
changed
this
up things
series.
a little bit.
本当に劇場映画として楽しんでいただける内容に仕上がっていってるんではないかなと。
But yeah, it should be really.
I guess that
exciting.
is a big announcement for Square.
That's really cool.
I mean, the last Final Fantasy movie
すごいです。
was Advent
すごい
Children.
ですだってつい先日
No, Kingsglaive.
I mean, the two actors
Like,
that they
that's
got
a-
to play the main
that's a
roles
big
are
announcement.
pretty famous.
Yeah.
Live action
And,
movie.
Even you see them on TV and movies all the time. So
頂戴しておりますので、来読させていただきたいと
相変わらず出てこないね、あの人はですね。はい。
But why check the white balance?
この度
first off, we have a message from the actual writer of the blog.
ついに映画化が決定いたしました。これもひとえにこれまで応援してくださった皆様のおかげです。ありがとうござ
Yeah,
います。
he's just so happy,
ドラマ
all
の
the
応援
support.
もたくさんの感想をいただ
Got
き
a
ま
lot
して
of feedback from after the
Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be really good.
the series came out, and
Yeah.
a lot of people were talking about how it was really inspirational for them, it really moved them. And so
Need to watch
after
the
hearing all
series.
that, I was really behind this idea of making it into a movie to get it out to even more people.
Yeah.
So yeah, please
Seen a lot of
look
people
forward to it.
resonated with it. Yeah.
Yeah,
マイティさんありがとうございました。
ありがとうございます。
mighty.
喜びのコメントですね。
まあそもそも原作者でもあるし、制作スタッフの一人でもあ
That
る。
might be the only
He's the
announcement.
writer of the original blog, and he's actually one of the creators that's working on the script.
That's
as well,
good.
so
That's
he
good that
has,
they have him
he
working on the
participates.
script too.
That's really cool.
Good.
Just from a blog. It's really
Creation.
interesting.
Yeah, just from a blog, as
All
just a
this
regular
stuff.
player.
Yeah.
Maybe the next one could be you. Get out there and write that
Well,
blog.
not me, but
という
You.
ことですね。
you.
本日この会場にですね、劇場版
So.
光のお父さんの発表に合わせて、この
You're wondering
お二人
probably why we
が
have all these
駆け
cameras
つけて
here, not
くだ
just
さい
for
ま
us
した。
too. We actually
そ
have
れではスペシャルゲストをお
the
招きしたいと思います。
two special
皆さん
guests,
盛大な拍手でお迎えください。
both
現在撮影中の
actors
中から勝木
Okay.
in.
いただきました主演の
That's why they got
Right.
the.
Oh.
That's why they got the white balance.
Kotaro Yoshida.
That's why they got the extra mics. Okay. So yeah, we're not getting a
from
crazy
filming
new announcement, but
to come to the stage.
cool. I've seen them in a few things. And a few is an understatement. These guys are good.
ようこそお越しくださいました。それではまずはじめに一言ずつご挨拶頂戴したいと思います。坂口さんお願いいたします。
皆さんこんにちは。こんにちは。山本明夫役の坂口健太郎です。
Right, so this is Kotaro Sakaguchi. He plays Akio in the movie.
And they wanted to get the white balance right so that when they came out, it would be
He's
be
an actual player
well filmed
of
and
Final
everything.
Fantasy XIV.
Really? What's he play? Yeah.
Everyone's really excited.
What's he play? There's no way he doesn't talk about what his main
Yeah,
is.
he's going to use that experience to, show that relationship of gamer son.
Yeah,
and
man,
gamer
they've been in
father.
so many things.
どうもこんにちは。
He didn't say what his main was.
映画光のお父さんでお父さん岩本明役を演じております。
The father, Akira Iwamoto, played by Kotaro Yoshida.
テレビ版で大杉蓮さんがおやりになっていた役で、僕大杉蓮さんと何回かお仕事させていただいておりまして、もう本当に大好きな尊敬する本当に素敵な先輩だったので、亡くなられたことは本当に残念だ
And
ったんですけど
so,
も。
actually, he was a good friend of the father, the actor that played the father on the series. Ren
Okay.
Osugi. And Ren Osugi passed away
Yeah.
recently, and so
Which is
that
why
was
they've had to
a-
move
as
to a new
shock him,
team.
But he's very honored to be able to fill
That's
in
really cool that they brought a friend of his on
following his
to
footsteps
play
for
the
this
role in the
as
movie.
father in the movie.
皆さんはフラッシュ撮影の方をお控えいただけるようお願いいたします。最後にフォトセッションの時間を設けておりますのでよろしくお願いします。ではここで、本日は撮影のためにいらっしゃれなかった野口監督よりビデオメッセージ
There's a weird part of me that wants to wait to watch the movie first, so that I get
We
all
have
the
a
plot,
message from the director,
and then
of
see
this,
the
he
extended
was,
versions,
I
you
mean,
know?
filming today.
会場にお越しの皆様こんにちは。ドラマ版に引き続き、劇
I
場
see
版
those
ファイ
lore
ナル
book.
ファンタジー14光のお
The
父
art
さんの監
books.
督を務めます、野口と申します。
He's got an alpha.
今日本来であればそちらに伺って皆様にきちんとご挨拶をしたかったんですけれども、実はまだ、
That's the Omega
撮影
statue
中
back
で
there
ござい
too.
ましてどうしてもそちらに足を運ぶことができません。申し訳ございません。したがって
The Namazu plushie back there too.
吉田さん、今日もこれから撮影がございますので1秒でも早くお戻りいただけますようお願いいたします。坂口さん、吉田さん、私は今回初めてご一緒させていただくんですけれども、坂口さんはこれインをして私も知ったんですが、実はかなりのゲーマーです。ファイナルファンタジーもがっつりと、昔からやり込んでいる。オンラインゲームも、過去にやっていたということで、ゲームリテラシーが非常に高くてですね、脚本の理解度もこう
Like, it's easy to have somebody claim to be a fan of the series, right? And of the game specifically.
すんなりと入っていただけて、
And it'd be easy to just place props in his room, right? To make it look like he
スムーズに
plays it. But that Namazu plushie has been knocked over, and if it was an
さらに
act,
意外だった
that
のが
Namazu would be standing up straight and be in frame, right?
だったという。フ ファイナルファンタジーも吉田さんもやっていたという、そしてグランツーリスモとかも結構やり込んでるっていうこれ意外な一面もあり
Because
ま
they
して
did a hard cut a second ago, so like somebody edited this video.
まさかの2人ともゲーマーというそんな2人が主演を務めていただきます劇場版「ファイナルファンタジー14光のお父さん」ぜひご期待いただければと思います。
Yeah, it's just his room, which is really cool. Also, we all love to hate the Namazus. So, like, of course it's been knocked over, you know? Yeah, I think unfortunately it looked like for a second we were going to get some crazy new news, but I think this is going to be what they wrap with, which is fine. I didn't expect to get like another job in the live letter. I think we're going to get another job at all the
call you by
suspension
your first name instead. This is a big thing. That's famous actor calling him by his first name.
Yeah, that's really good.
So, when the offer for for this movie came, I mean, you already had the series, and so when creating this character,
that'd be crazy.
What type of things did you think about when creating this characters? So like I said before, I really like games, and I've probably played most all of the Final Fantasy games in the series. But the things I didn't let anybody know about that. No one knew about that. It just happened to me.
Yeah,
when the director said, so do you know games? Like, oh yeah, I do. And that was the first time.
A lot of actors don't talk about the fact that they play video games.
I was a gamer. They didn't know before.
Like even in Japan, it's not the place where you would expect it to be okay to play video games. You know, it still has a weird stigma to it. In the same way that like an actor that does a lot of tokusatsu,
not only
it's like
but you're also
stuck in tokusatsu, you know,
and having those crossover and synchronize and become one character even if they're separate. So acting. So it's basically he didn't have to actually memorize a lot of lines because the main the father doesn't speak a lot, at least on screen. He's very silent,
right.
And so he didn't have to learn a lot of lines.
People are very judgmental,
but
right?
getting the opportunity to ad lib in a natural way and learning what. So usually I do that. I ad lib to bring up, but because again the father doesn't speak a lot, I can't do a lot of ad libbing. It's just like the things you need to say them in as few words as possible. So it's difficult.
A man of few words.
Yeah, I mean, if you look back at the blog, it's just about how the dad just says nothing, when in interactions with his son.
Yeah, because the blog was told from the perspective of the son.
Yeah.
Rigid face expression. So when getting into character, is there anything special that you do to get into character? I mean, the biggest thing was just playing Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's this person who plays games is a person I get to play. And so I play games to become more like that character
Makes
who
sense.
plays games. And then the other thing is about that relationship with the father. So there's not a lot of opportunity to work directly with Kotaro Yoshida to work together, but actually because it's that type of character where there's not as much communication, that actually worked out.
That works really
Yeah,
well.
really cool. I really want to see these two in this movie.
So you mentioned before that there's not a lot of lines, so it's hard to create a character without a lot of lines. You have to create it with like the actions. So what kind of things you do, like maybe eye contact. What type of techniques do you use to create that character, a character with so little few lines? And so, I mean, there's that connection there, but also the lack of a connection is also part of it. That's part of it as well. So.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And then also, I mean, you have the father character from the series, and his spirit is there behind me always. And so, if if I need help, I look to that role, and I look to him and his spirit for help there.
Yeah, and it was his friend that did the role, so like he has insight on that character that a different actor may not have.
To the filming. And it was really exciting. And we said here that like they're filming today, and you probably think that we're just saying that. No, it's actually after this is over, they're going to go continue filming.
Well, okay then. No wonder it was made such a big thing. They broke filming to come out here to be on stage. Like, this is a really big thing. I know there's maybe some people going, "Oh, it's just a
lot of scenes,
just a movie about a kid playing 14." This is a big thing for 14. Like, this will bring in a lot of people that had no idea the game existed.
Night, we're all in that same room.
Or that had heard of it but didn't know anything about it, that will now be able to watch this movie, see the game, see the connections people can make in the game, and go, you know what, I do want to play
pretty
this
much, yeah, we're trapped in this room. They lock the doors. And so, usually, that makes you feel pretty depressed. But the staff are great. They have a lot of energy. A lot of people smiling, and the people that we're working with.
Well, especially because like foreign TV shows are not that popular in a lot of countries, but foreign movies are. So this could really bring in another audience in countries that maybe didn't care that much.
To work with a lot of really nice people. So even though we're trapped in that room all day, working with a lot of great people.
僕で一人で芝居をすることって時々あったんです
So
ね。
like, there's a lot of times where it's just the only people in the room is me and the screen, and like, I'm acting with
to the screen. Yeah.
So there's like times where I'm playing like Twintania, Titan, and there's people in the staff members who are also Warriors of Light that have played these as well.
Yeah,
so I asked them,
makes
like, how
sense.
should I be playing this part? What should I be doing here? And so like I'm wondering like what should I say here, and the players and the staff, they're like, okay, this is what Twister is coming. This attack is coming, and they tell you.
That's really cool. They coach him through
okay,
the
this is the things I have to do. Like,
mechanics.
I have to run this way, and here I have to do this, and so.
Also, yeah, it's important to note a lot of this is like super early on in 14 too. This is when Titan was still a fight to be
has a lot of,
scared of.
Special terminology. That's Final Fantasy 14 terminology. It's like.
Yeah, translator's doing a great job here. Koji's doing top tier as always.
僕らはもう大きな声で言いたいですけど、ゲーム世代なんですよ。
So, talking about like again, it's hard to imagine him being a gamer, but you think about it, he was young when the Famicom came out, and so like he is part of that gamer generation. So he's been playing all of those games. So he's been playing Final Fantasy since Final Fantasy 1.
Wow. Nice.
I played 14. I played 15 as well.
The little like half smile on his face when he said he played 15 and the Comrades multiplayer. He's like, "Yep, nope, I played 15 too. Didn't stop at 14."
Yeah, that multiplayer, that online. He's playing that right now. It's like normally he says that when he plays that and he's talking to other people, no one knows what he's talking about. But now he's happy because everyone here knows he's talking.
Yeah.
But to download that patch, it took like two hours. It's like.
He's playing the Comrades multiplayer right now, and he's so excited to finally be able to talk to people about it. That's really cool. Again, it's not a well-known thing, even in Japan.
But it's really exciting to hear how the games from us, the games that we created, have brought people together. People that
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like this is one of the biggest actors in Japan.
So one of the things about
And he
this
can't
movie,
find people to
that's
talk to
unique
about
is that we have these
Comrade
live action parts as well as
for Final
the
Fantasy 15. That's
in-game stuff. And
insane
so
to me, but
what's difficult about
makes a lot of
doing,
sense.
that type of filming those two type
Of course, now he has a bunch of people he can talk to.
in the live action parts, you act like this. In game, you act like this, and you change the way you act, the words that you use.
多分ね今回それがミソで、それが面白いんですよ。
And that's what's really interesting about this game. Things that you can't say
Yeah.
in real life, you can say
In the game.
in the game.
Yeah.
実にやるのと、ゲームでインディーをやるの全然キャラを変えられるければ変えられる。
And it's another one of those situations that if he was faking it, he never would have brought on
You can
Comrades,
play
right?
one day, and then when you're in game,
Never
playing
would have
as Indy,
happened.
you
They
can
would have
be
just
a
stopped
completely
him at
different
15.
character.
なるほど、ありがとうございます。坂口さんいかがですか？
そうですね、でも本当にさっきの話ちょっと重なっちゃうんですけど、お父さんは普段は寡黙なんですよ。
So yeah, like we mentioned before,
インディーとして生きてるこの危機
in
として
real life, the father doesn't say anything. He's a very silent
Right.
type. But then you get in game, and he's communicating
Yeah.
in ways that he wouldn't in real life.
Normally, yeah.
I also like how there's no teleprompter. They're just answering these questions, you know?
お父さんインディーがこういうことをやってでもこれって本当にお父さんなんだよなっていうのを
So, and it's about, where Akio and Mighty are linked, kind of. It's you have the father and then the character, in-game character Indy.
Yeah.
They feel so different that, it's like, is this
really?
Is this really my father? Is he
Yeah.
really saying these things? He would never say these things outside.
ストーリーの中でさらにこう変わっていくみたいな。
And so the cool part about the movie is that you can see those character arcs and how
That's cool.
how
I'm
the
hyped for this
characters
movie
change,
now. I should have
in the
watched the
beginning and
series.
through their interactions in the game.
ありがとうございます。すいません。いろいろ聞いていただいているところなんですが、先ほど野口監督もおっしゃった通り、お二人には撮影現場に戻っていただきないといけ
All
ない
right,
の
and
で
so they actually have to get back.
Yeah, they're waiting to get back to filming.
The stage.
That was really cool, though. I'm really impressed by this.
What? Oh, yeah, they're gonna have the photo session.
Oh, nice.
Let's see.
Yeah, they gotta get the
Have
pictures.
A bunch of media down in front. They're gonna allow them to
I'll
take
be
pictures.
selling these
Some more
pictures
Dad of Light, June 21st.
Wow.
That's
Somewhere.
really cool. That's like
Yeah.
3 months.
Yeah.
4
Right
months.
before Shadowbringers, too.
Right.
Yeah.
Watch that.
Right before early access.
Right before early access.
Right before early access.
So yeah, there's no excuse. You can't say, "Oh, I'm busy with Shadowbringers, I can't go see it." It's like, no, right here.
Still have some time.
大丈夫ですか？
It's pretty cool. This is like a really...
Yeah, this is a cool
This
thing.
is I've been in Japan for 24 years. This is
Yeah.
the first time I've ever seen it. And you see this on TV all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
But this is really cool.
The audience is...
It's just
very
like
enthralled.
on TV.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like quiet and watching. Like people have just been
Probably.
the past 30 minutes
Probably.
not moving around, just kind of looking.
Yeah,
at
like this is really cool.
That's crazy. There's
It's,
so much media.
all those cameras.
there's gonna be a lot of people that are like, I wanted a healer though, and it's like, yeah, I wanted a healer too. But this
know.
is such a
Really
good thing
interesting.
for the game. This is good for 14, for the dev team. This is good for creators that like to make 14 content, because again, all of this is based off a blog
Each going.
of this one guy talking about his experiences with his dad in this game and how it brought them closer together.
こちら側で下手側の方出演お願いします。
Like this is big for 14.
はい、こちらも引き続き
That's interesting to see this.
お願いいたします。
And even past being big for 14, this is big for those two actors, right? To come out publicly on the stage and say that not only do they play video games, but that they've been playing them for a long time. That's a big thing. That's a hard thing to do, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's just
Gaming's a
regular
good thing.
guy
Yeah,
playing 14,
100%.
on his
Story.
blog, and I mean, he had a story. I mean, it's all true. He was
Yeah.
talking about his father and his relationship with his father, and how 14 affected his life, and and opened things up like that, and yeah, and then just players would read it, and it got people get excited, and then they started writing about themselves, and it all led to a series and now
Yeah.
a movie.
It's awesome.
What's next?
Yeah.
A movie?
I
And-
don't know.
Again, what
God of
else
Light
could
real
be the
estate
next
game?
thing that happens with this?
Escape
You
from
know,
that
like,
room?
like
になりますので、分岐ですので手を振るのは
anything could happen, right? It's
Oh.
so good, so good. Yoshi, Yoshi P, did he drop his tablet? Is that what happened there?
I'd like to think that he's waving at me.
Yeah. That's
I'll wave
exactly
back.
what they're doing.
Kotaro
Koji.
Sakaguchi's like, "Oh, Koji, he's in the
Is that
back."
Koji back there?
Koji in that, hey.
Wow. I don't think that's the reality, but
Hey, that's what I'm going to tell my kids when I'm old.
Kotaro Sakaguchi waved at me.
それではボードの回収をお願いいたします。では最後に、映画の公開を楽しみにされている皆
That was a
様
pretty
一言ずつ
exciting announcement for PLL.
Yeah, and it happened in the middle of the live letter too. Like that's crazy to me.
Release for live
いや
50.
今日はありがとうございました。
Yeah.
I forgot we were in a live
How are they
letter.
going to top this in 51?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, what do we do? What do we do in May when we have 51?
だからその面白さをこうどう映像で映画で伝えていくかっていうところと、孝太郎さん、あきらお父さんと、
It's all about, showing through the movie how great a game 14 is. And, hopefully watching this movie will let a lot of people know that 14
Yeah.
is a really fun and exciting game, through that story.
ここにいらっしゃる方は14のプロフェッ
It's
ショナル
actually a movie press conference. Yeah, pretty much.
おっしゃってると思うので
I mean, everybody here,
They bamboozled
like,
us.
people watching, they're all like, they're 14 professionals. And so I have a lot of pressure to, uh,
ありがとうございます。
In a weird
well
way,
as well, so-
I appreciate that line though. You know, that like he feels like he has pressure because we all play this game and love this game, and he needs to live up to that expectation. That line makes me feel better
he
about.
is guaranteed that it'll be a great movie. So
It's his personal guarantee.
it's personal guarantee. And yes, because he said so.
It must be. Must be.
Ah, okay. So just yesterday they filmed some scenes about when Akio was young and when Akio was older. And so when I saw that, the scenes where he goes from younger to older.
I don't
and
know if
watch
he's supposed to
him,
reveal
the
that
kind
or
of
not.
complete scene of that.
Yeah.
But
I
okay.
started tearing up
Oh.
myself.
That's fine.
And so yeah,
I assume
someone
that was
who's
probably in the
acting
series.
in the movie is going to be crying at it. I guarantee that all of you will be crying as well.
Okay. I'm game. Tears will be shed, I'm sure.
ありがとうございました。それでは直樹さんよろしくお願いします。
はい。
And then
ですね、
Of course.
ファンタジー14というゲームはですね、本当にいろんなことが起きるゲームでして、
I mean, a lot of stuff
Love this game, man.
happens with Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah.
I am game to cry. That's right.
I mean, again, it's
Always.
公開まで行くとは、しかもですね、
we
このような
would
今
never
日本を代
imagine
表
that
す
a
る
blog
あの
about
スター
this
の
game
二人
made it
Yeah.
all the way
ダブル
into
出演
a
をして
full-length
いただ
feature
く
film.
ので
Yeah.
ですね、これだけ多くの
To be
二人の選手
standing
の
here on the
前
stage
でそれを
surrounded by,
発表し
thousands of fans with these two great actors, and that in 3 months this movie will come out. It's just, it's amazing. We're going to work hard to make sure that it is, the best. I'm going to go see it myself.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I want you guys to go to the theater and
It's a
watch
shame
as
that
well.
it probably won't be in theaters.
And not watch it
here
just
in the
once.
States,
Watch
but-
it at least twice or 3 times.
思います。見るたびに新しい発見が
And each time you watch it, you'll probably find new stuff. It is there's a lot of cool stuff in the movie, so
お願いいたします。
please look forward to it.
Because it's going to be older content too, I wonder if they're going to have like old skills or if they're just going to level sync characters. It'd be really cool if we saw
And
old abilities that aren't in the game anymore.
thank you very much.
Yeah. So this is the end here. Yep. So yeah, we didn't get any like super crazy in-game news from this, which is not, I didn't expect us to anyway. We got the basic information. We got some really cool lore information. Very, very good to have some theories confirmed. All row, love each other by rubbing horns. That's a thing.
1 week before early
Just
access.
before early access.
Watch it once, twice, thrice. Enough time to watch it multiple times before early access begins. Yeah, 50 letters from the producer live. That's a lot.
Yep.
And
Doesn't even count like the E3 ones and
it was pretty cool to see those two actors
Yeah, I agree.
who both knew what they were talking about when it came.
We got
to
the
at least
roadmap.
Final Fantasy 14 fighting Twintania. And
We know when patches are coming now. Adjustments, various adjustments, going to be coming in April.
All right, so I'm going to wrap up this letter from the producer live now.
Xenoshig Elvis is in Dissidia. And Dad of Light is going to be a movie.
So yeah, you think maybe things like this movie, it's all like me that I'm going out and looking for these opportunities. It's actually not. This is all like chance that these things happen, and are like drawn to this, to this project. Things that's just how powerful this project is. That it becomes the origin of all these exciting things that you couldn't even imagine.
It's really cool. Yeah.
濃いゲーム内容の時もあれば、こうしたお祝い事の発表だったり、いろんなことをまたこのプロデューサーレターライブやっていきたいと思いますので、どうぞ。
Yeah, this is the 50th, but hopefully we can continue having a lot more. We've got a lot of heavy announcements as well as light announcements like this. It's really it's a great project, and hopefully this won't be. It's our 50th, and hopefully it won't be our last.
Yeah. Out of like 15.
Okay, yeah, they're just talking about how the Twitch stream is going to go off for just a second, and then
restart it.
Restart it. So don't worry, we're not breaking down. This is planned.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back
for the dev panel coming soon.
Yeah, right. So this is going to end our coverage tonight. Like we're not gonna cover the dev panel and everything there. I really just wanted to get the live letter because I knew we were getting lore stuff. I knew we were going to be getting some information. We got the roadmap as we were talking about. We're gonna stop this PlayStation ad right here. I'm super stoked for Xenos. Super stoked for this movie. I can't wait to see what those various adjustments are. The roadmap's really cool. Getting confirmation that Louis Sois just sent them forward. He did not send them exactly. There's a lot of people were going, well, if it's exactly 5 years, stuff's happening here because of this, and Louis Sois must have sent them so they could get prepared for this, and so they were supposed to miss this. And it's like, no, we have confirmation now that they were just sent forward in time, which is great. We got that confirmation about the All Raw. We got some really cool moments with Oda, with some really cool answers as to what was going on there. I could have done without the 2 questions of how do you lore splain chocobos and how do you lore splain duty roulette. I think we could have got some better questions in there, but for the most part, this was a really good live letter. Really excited, really glad I covered it. Did not know where that was going 30 minutes ago when they were like, all right, we got to check the white ballots, and I was really afraid Yoshi P was about to announce that he was retiring, but no, it's good stuff. Confirmed benchmark coming, confirmed job actions in May. Good stuff coming up. You better believe I'm going to do a reaction video to job actions trailer. So until then, though, we'll be back Monday with a podcast where we're going to talk about all this news, as well as I'll give the rest of my opinions on all of it. We'll be back Tuesday with the patch 4.56, Thursday with Super Robot Wars T, and Friday with Tales of Vesperia. Until next time, I have been Trey. This has been the Full Spectrum. Thanks everybody for coming out to the chat, and remember to always enjoy the full spectrum. Final Fantasy 14. Best off.